guys, nothing's real, according to an article I read today.
Oh, fuck that stupid theory so much.
I fucking wish nothing was real, man.
No, he's talking about that asinine Fight Club theory that nobody in the movie was real, and I've been masturbating into a tissue box for the past 6 weeks watching this movie.
But before I let that gag out of control, we have an extremely special guest.
I was probably a ghost in a full life.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, how's it going?
Sean from Movie Dumpsters here. This is the first time I've gotten one of them on here. And
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain this show as it is when they're actually on here. Because I'm like, just see how it unfolds.
Yeah. This is the show.
Well, I told Arlen before I came on that I wanted to talk about something immediately.
Oh no.
Stop with the fucking fireworks! 4th of July was a week ago, people.
Oh my god, it's bad out here, and like a month ago, like leading into this fucking holiday, every 2 days someone was firing off fireworks.
Well, that's because George Soros has been providing TIFO with fireworks to
with heavy ordnance,
used to the sound of gunshots.
Yeah,
eventually the uprising happens.
So Q is creating a globalist agenda, and this is part of it.
Obvious.
Yeah,
Right.
obviously.
Her dancing was just a distraction from the real issues.
Yeah.
It's something I said to you on your thread or whatever, your post on Facebook about the Wayfair child trafficking ring.
That shit makes me so mad.
It's just, oh god, yeah. So according to people who probably believe that there was a basement to Ping Pong Pizza where Hillary Clinton was.
It's exactly that, because it's all hashtag with the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
Fucking story that just won't die.
Yeah, Wayfair apparently was selling like industrial size cabinets, like gigantic ones. So of course, gigantic industrial size and industrial strength cabinets and things of that nature are going to cost a bit more. Now, I did a little research on my own to see if there was any validity to the other thing people are saying. They're claiming that some of the names of these cabinets are after children who were kidnapped. And that's a big load of bullshit. Because
hold on. Wait.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Connor, people are arguing with me about this.
That's like ordering buying a gun and sell it to, I'm gonna shoot 500 people.
I don't know if we should get the John Benet Ramsey armoire. I'm just not sure if that's gonna work in our house.
What conspirators name their intentions via purchases?
Also,
what kind of G.I. Joe villains are these?
Also, why the fuck would this just be on the internet?
Well, the other thing that people are trying to connect it to is that there were Wayfair workers who went on strike because they were selling to a foreign prison, I believe, something along those lines.
What I read.
What's that?
ICE is what I read.
To ICE. Yeah,
and that was from fucking NPR. So
that was the whole thing. They were saying that a lot of these kids that are known as missing are being shipped through these fucking shelves and drawers and shit, basically.
Yeah, I think actually what people believe is that these shelves and drawers and all that other bullshit are a stand-in for the child.
Oh yeah, sure.
So, oh yes, I'm ordering this industrial size cabinet, but actually I'm getting insert child's name here for $15,000.
Seems a lot for a kid.
If they're shipping.
Well,
if they're shipping children in cabinets, like suddenly they turn into the Hand. Like, what are we doing with the fucking Daredevil subplot now?
The most hilarious part about it to me is the idea that Amazon. They also have an Amazon store, so that means that their product goes through Amazon. So like, out of like every Amazon employee who's ever worked at Amazon, you would think that someone would be like, hey. There's kids in here.
Wayfair is a legit company. Like my wife and I have gotten stuff for the house through them. Like it just people are idiots. That's all it is.
Like some people need their Google taken away from them. I swear to God.
Some people need to wear masks that don't actually have holes big enough for air to get through, and they just need to pass off of this planet.
Yeah, exactly.
But Eric, when you wear a mask, you are breathing carbon dioxide.
I can't wear my mask for 10 minutes when I go out to get my humdingers from Buffalo Wild Wings. But you, I hate people.
A friend of mine on Facebook was saying she was at Kohl's and this dude, like, she's online and this guy walks up and she said, like, she had like the wind changed direction. Like this guy walks up, this mask hanging off his ear, older guy, and she's like, "Don't do it, don't you do it." And within like 10 seconds, he was like, "Let me tell you something about these masks." Like,
oh my God, let me tell you something about these masks. Oh man, if you don't wear one, you're gonna be fucking dead.
You know what? Maybe he shouldn't wear one. Maybe they got it right in the beginning when they said it was boomer remover. Like maybe
honestly,
that needs to happen.
Starting to lean towards that.
So why Kohl's? Why did you Kohl's to be the stage for this fight?
You know, the fire of revolution starts in odd places.
He needs to buy his Coca-Cola t-shirts and his fucking $12 ties.
For 12, but for this man, it was a Kohl's. It was a
Kohl's is the only place that sell pants that fit over his stump of a leg that he lost from diabetes.
Oh boy!
No way. He just didn't drink enough juice or any calcium. He just got.
Someone building one of these cabinets in the background. What's happening?
Yeah. No. Well. There's someone
trying to get out.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I like how we've completely given up on introducing ourselves. By the way.
No, Sean was the only one that needed an introduction. If you're listening to this at this point, you know who the fuck we are.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear you say we all sound alike. That's not true.
Yeah. Leonardo.
that wasn't even Leonardo who started saying that.
I just want to give him shit.
Okay.
To be fair, he has joined the all sound alike train. I have seen it personally.
I've seen him say it.
He also does. He's like, "Oh, all you white people." Like,
oh yeah.
You know, we kind of do.
Oh.
Yeah. No, we kind of deserve it. We That's a take, though.
Anyways,
I didn't hear what that take was, but yeah, the world is fucking depressing, and the more we talk about it, the sadder I get.
Let's not. I'm done. All right.
Right.
I saw Trump wearing a mask today. I guess that finally
first time.
Yeah, he's got to flip the script. He's got to, save his image, right?
Yep.
That'll do it. That'll save it.
I guess that's his last ditch effort. Who the fuck knows?
Biden is finished.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That guy is
often.
He is walking around like someone who went to the bar to get shit-faced, but left only buzzed, and is really upset about it. Like he's just his morale looks like it's in the shitter.
All I can do is make wounded noises when I try and start talking about him at this point. It's just I'm just so frustrated. I've been alive since 1826, so I've seen a lot of presidents come and go.
Were you Jack the Ripper?
I don't want to talk about that part of my life right now.
There's questions you don't want the answers to.
Yeah, true. Honestly,
her heart did weigh more than a feather.
Sure. So that carrion game, Hunter, that you
oh,
me
dude,
today,
that thing looks so sick.
It's on Game Pass. I downloaded it right away.
Oh, it's out already.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, shit. I'll have to check that out tomorrow.
Fucking fascinating.
Is that the one where, like, you're not really a alien of any particular shape? You're just kind of an amorphous...
You're an amorphous flesh monster, yes.
You are crawling hateful flesh, it seems
cool.
like.
And it's fucking awesome.
Well, all right. You're speaking my language so bad.
It also looks like you can kind of like stick tentacles out of your creature, whatever the fuck it is, to control people. I saw in the trailer. That looks pretty cool.
He's got like what's it called from Naruto? the shadow control, whatever.
Are you trying to be clean and not say just hentai arms? Is that what you're just trying to avoid it?
Just
pseudopods.
You watch one furry anime once, and suddenly you're the hentai guy.
Hunter, I'm going to reiterate this. Like, if you were on the other side of the conversation when you said, "Hey guys, check this show out," and the picture you got was of 5 shirtless wolfman.
Beastars rules, okay? I can't.
I was about to ask, what the fuck show are you talking about?
It's Beastars, and it's actually good once you get past all the furry stuff. You know?
Okay.
Once you get past the furry stuff, it seems to be mostly furry stuff.
Mostly.
You're watching it for the story. Is that what
I'm watching it for the story. There's a lot of good art. There's a lot of good articles. A lot of good dialogue, you know.
But Carrion looks like a more fucked up kind of Abe's Odyssey kind of thing going on, where it's a lot of environmental stuff.
So Devolver Digital, the publisher who put out Carry On, they released a free game called Devolver Expo, I think that's what it's called. It's like a stealth game where you watch all their trailers, and at the end you fight a giant boss made out of like TV screens and shit. It's pretty sick. But also, that game looks awesome. I'm gonna download it after we're done with this. But man, that company knows how to put out a game.
I've only ever heard good things about them. Also, it's one of the first indie games in a while where I'm like, I want to play that.
It's pretty sick.
Honestly, Devolver Digital, I don't think I've played a game by them I've been disappointed by.
They're like one of those companies who really puts money into things they believe in, and usually what they believe in is dope. So
yeah, and it's normally a little bit left to center too, which is great.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Everyone. Goodbye. No, I'm kidding.
Bye, everyone. We're signing out.
Sorry, I've got interference going on because loud children are coming into the house. So since I am 200 years old,
I was gonna say, like, there's like almost no movie news because movies are still kind of in limbo.
Yeah.
The TV show.
Hey, Halloween got delayed till next year. Halloween Kills. I don't know if you guys care about that.
I do, and I didn't know that.
There's a teaser out. John Carpenter posted it. I actually fucking retweeted it the other day. It's. Have you guys seen it?
No,
I haven't yet. I know it's out there,
but I'm interested.
Spoiled?
Oh, go ahead.
We don't mind. Yeah.
No, whatever.
It's just basically if you saw the last Halloween movie, how that ended where they burned the fucking house down at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts with them basically getting the fuck out of Dodge, and then they just see like Lori and what was it, her 2 granddaughters, I think.
Something like that.
Either way, they see a bunch of fucking fire trucks going back towards the house, and she's just like screaming, like, "No! Like, let them burn!" The fucking logo comes in. I was like, "Yep, that's how he survives." Okay.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a Bride of Frankenstein ass scene where he's like ripping people off the fucking first floor to the basement. I think that'd be cool.
Actually, that'd be pretty sick.
What is with him being saved via first responders? Because
right?
Was it an H2O where he's with like an ambulance driver?
Well, that was the one after H2O. What the fuck was that called?
Resurrection.
Yes, where you find out that he swapped his fucking mask with like an EMT at the end of H2O, and it's like, she killed the wrong person.
Lori just beheaded some random guy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Back in the mental institution. No Loomis to save you this time, though.
I'd honestly really love if like Halloween Kills, the first like half hour, is just the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 5. And it's just instead of the man on fire, it's Michael Myers. So good.
Dude, I'd actually kind of be into that if he's taking out firefighters and shit.
Yes. And Lori's running away on horseback.
Yes. She has an eye patch for some reason.
Yes, but Revolver also has to be there. That's my only reason.
No. Instead of the
Kiefer
big
Sutherland's got to do Lori's voice.
Yes, yeah, no. Right. It can't be Jamie Lee Curtis. It's got to be Kiefer Sutherland.
I mean, she plays the part. He does the voiceover.
Michael played us like a damn fiddle.
Instead of a giant flaming whale in the sky, it's just Dr. Loomis's face.
Waving down.
I was gonna say a clothes hanger, but yeah.
Actually, that's also as good, or just as good.
That's the movie news I saw. I don't know.
I just watched the movie Palm Springs on Hulu tonight. It's the Andy Samberg, and I forget who the actress is. I forget what her name is. I've seen her in a couple things. Regardless, it's time loop movie, and it's not bad actually. Like, it's not the best thing on earth I've ever seen, but it's fun. Like, and it's definitely got a, I guess, younger person's approach to kind of what happened with Groundhog's Day.
Right.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's worth checking
by younger,
out.
you mean born in this century, right?
Wait, I think I've seen the trailer for this. Who's in it again?
Andy Samberg and
yes. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I know I've seen that actress multiple times, but I can't remember her name right now because I'm a horrible misogynist.
Yes. No, women can't exist in time loops, Eric. What are you talking about?
Can't go to space.
He's just a really big Hot Rod fan.
No.
Hey, come on, that movie's pretty funny.
Hey, is Eric revealing he doesn't like Hot Rod?
I've seen it once. I'm not saying I like it or dislike it.
Okay, because you're wrong if you dislike it. Just so you know.
Gotta revisit that one.
Yeah, at some point. You know, I've got so little time to do so much now.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you don't watch that, and if you haven't seen Pop Star, you should have seen that.
I still gotta watch Pop Star.
Pop Star was a comedy that came out like 3 years ago that had like kind of a strong marketing push and then fucking disappeared. Like, I don't think anyone went and saw it.
No,
apparently it's really
and
funny.
You're recommending it.
Yeah, no, people found it after the fact, and I remember watching it for the first time, being like, "Wow, this is one of the funniest movies of like the decade or something."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's incredibly funny. There are moments in it that I like refer to with my family that we bring up all the time that are some of the worst things that have ever been put on screen, but they're hilarious. So.
So it's that kind of okay. Now I gotta check it out.
We're eating all that spaghetti and watching Pop Star.
Is Pop Star the only movie your stepdad watches more than once?
Sean, please meet Arlen's father.
How you doing, Sean?
Meet the horrible East Coast version of my stepfather.
I've got a tanker truck full of it in the backyard if you want some.
But that is the fate of like theatrical comedies now. They come out and hear about them for a week and then they just die.
Yeah, then nothing ever happens.
Yeah, if they don't really pick up the steam, they just sort of like, I think the biggest comedies I can think of recently were sort of indie comedies, stuff that A24 is putting out. But I can't think of like the last big comedy where people were like talking about hangover numbers.
There's no blockbuster comedies don't really exist anymore. I was
going to say Game Night was really good, but I don't know how much money that.
I think it did okay, but I don't think it did gangbusters like Arlen said, and like hangover levels. Yeah, God, I didn't even think about that, but I don't like. Was Superbad after Hangover? Because I feel like that was the last one I can remember that was huge.
That was before Hangover, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of the early Rogan stuff and the early I can never remember his goddamn name.
Apatow.
Apatow. A lot of their early stuff, some of that stuff hit really well. I think Hangover might be the last super big one that I can think of. Yeah,
I haven't watched it in a few years, but at the time I thought Tropic Thunder was really fucking funny. Yeah. I don't know how well it holds up. It probably doesn't. But
it's still fantastic.
It's
still
all right. Tom Cruise is just ridiculous in that movie.
Punch that key grip in the mouth.
Punch that him in the mouth really fucking hard. Downey Jr.'s on like a different level of existence in that movie. Stiller's great. Jack Black is great. I forget that black dude's acting.
Jack Black is okay in the theatrical cut, and in the extended,
Yeah.
That's the thing with Jack Black. Like, you can't take too much of him at this point, like
Mhm.
because we got such a healthy slathering of him when he first really popped up on the scene, like
Mhm.
not like back when he was doing the Tenacious D shorts on HBO or even when he was on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
But like when he got bigger, it was just he was every goddamn place all the time, and it's like, all right, enough. I get
Right.
it. I get it.
Also, the identity of Jack Black became so formed. So, like, what we expected from him versus some of the stuff that's earlier in his career. I can't believe we're talking about Jack Black right now. This is
Jack Black, he's a fucking legend, man. He was in Brutal Legend.
Yeah. And he started getting compared to like what the family-friendly version of him was. So that became Jack Black. And I think Tropic Thunder, it works best when the comedy is as far away from that version of Jack Black as you can.
Oh yeah,
as you can get.
I think
that's why I feel like just in that instance, he's better in the extended, because in the original, I just feel like, okay, yeah, he has a drug addiction, like that's his character. But when you watch the extended, they kind of like, again, I haven't probably watched it like in 10 years, but they kind of go into that more. I'm trying to remember, they give him like more of a backstory. You know, it's like maybe like an additional minute of information to break it down. But I don't know. For me, it makes it better.
I think I've seen School of Rock more than any movie I've ever seen in my life.
That's a good movie.
It is. It's...
My favorite Jack Black role. My favorite Jack Black role is
what now?
What was that?
Connor Jax when he gets immediately vaporized by the Martians. And
oh god,
when he's yeah, his dad's Jodan Baker.
We lost so much of that, man.
Connor just died. Oh, there he goes.
All right.
Connor left the planet.
Oh, and he went to go save it. Shit, I lost it.
God damn it.
Yeah. Spaceship crashed. I knew where you were going.
Yeah, I love that scene, and I love the fact that Jodan Baker is his fucking dad.
Oh my god, it is, isn't it?
Yup.
Okay, I wasn't going to talk about this because it's... Okay, so we interviewed Graydon Clark, who had fucking Jodan Baker in Final Justice and a bunch of other movies. So I ordered his book and the DVD just as like, kind of like to throw him a few bucks to thank him for being on the show, essentially. He sends his fucking DVD of Final Justice that is literally a DVD-R that he stamped himself. and he just used like office paper to print the cover and like clearly didn't even use a straight edge. It's like fucking like cut off in the corner. And I was like, I've had this for like 2 weeks and never took a good look at it. I was like, son of a bitch.
I like the idea of that even more if it would have just been like lined paper that he got from like
yeah, right,
like just a notebook.
Like in Sharpie, it says "Final Justice." It's my movie.
Somehow there's a backwards R in there.
He misspells it.
Hey, you know what? What the hell? More power to the guy. He's doing it on the cheap, right, Connor?
Yeah, that's his philosophy, on the cheap.
Christ, how old is this
I had to share that once you invoke Jodan Baker, that struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's Mitchell. You can't really go wrong with Jodan Baker.
I was telling my dad about that, and I was like, yeah, and because his frame of reference for film is so limited, I was like, he's in GoldenEye, and he was like, oh.
Do we know what other Bond films he was in? Not to make this about
in other Bond films?
Was
he's in another Bond movie. He's in the Bond movie right before GoldenEye as a completely different character.
So wait, Connor. Sorry, hold on, Connor. Does that mean, by your logic, does that mean your dad's absolute favorite band is Duran Duran?
What?
I don't know. I had a thought there, and I just kind of lost it. All right.
It's the Duran Duran with doing the theme song for a James Bond movie.
Well, I mean, like
the GoldenEye theme song.
Oh, yeah. My dad's favorite artist is Gordon Lightfoot, and he listens to
Yanni. You know what? Your dad's a good man.
Yeah.
Dad is fucking cool. All right, he's like, I don't know, he's like some weird superhero who should have been born as a pirate.
Wait, did you say he likes Yanni?
Does.
Okay.
Yanni.
I just anytime I hear Yanni, I automatically think of Live at Acropolis, and then I automatically think of the X-Men comic book Age of Apocalypse. So it becomes Yanni Age of Acropolis.
Dude, that is a really good comic, by the way. You guys are just naming banger after banger tonight.
Age of Apocalypse was good, but I think it went on a little bit too long. Like,
yeah, no, that's true.
All the side stuff was interesting, but it's like you could have done this in like 2 less issues. Like,
Sure,
I don't need all this crap about Gambit. Thanks.
I remember having the Wolverine action figure from Age of Apocalypse before I had any concept of what the comic book was, and I was like, "Why does he have a stump? Like, what is this?"
Ooh.
Yeah, and that was one of the first times you had officially had him banging down on Jean Grey, if I remember correctly.
Just plowing out.
Now all 3 of them are bagging down together, aren't they?
Yep. Yes, they are.
Talking about how big Colossus' dick is.
What?
Yeah. There's a conversation that happens in, I think it's the newest issue of X-Force, that Jean and Logan are in a bath, a pool together. I don't know.
Some sort of water holding device.
And they're getting all cuddly and talking, and them says something about Colossus having a big heart, and Wolverine says he's got a big everything.
Yeah, I guess he would, right?
And that was then a conversation we had in the chat about exactly comes out of Colossus's big everything when he's in his bioorganic state.
And it was a nightmare. And I
liquefied silver, mercury or some shit.
Like, because it affects his body, but that doesn't mean the physiology would be completely altered. So I would think it would just be regular ass spooge.
Yeah. You'd have to have kitty pride.
Yeah, that's true.
I imagine it would have like an irony aftertaste.
Probably.
I remember
that pineapple.
There's a tweet from Jonathan Hickman where people ask him about like the current X-Men run, and he was like, "They're like, you should be fired off the X-Men run." He's like, "Believe me, I am doing everything in my power to get fired off this comic. They won't do it."
Why is it that bad?
No, it's great.
But like he made controversial decisions that fans.
Like have you read his Age of X, Powers of X storyline that came out like I think last year?
To be honest, I haven't read a comic book in like probably 8 years.
What's wrong with you? Get with it.
I know.
You've never heard Eric got serious before.
That's so visceral. Whoa.
Eric became
after that is a lie. I maybe in like 3 years, because I was like pretty into The Walking Dead for a while, and I dropped it. And I never picked it back up. I read a lot of manga. That's my thing.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So one of the big things that happened in House of X, Powers of X was or Powers of 10, was basically at the end of it, the mutants have established their own like country, and it's on Krakoa, the living mutant island, and they established some rules, and basically one of them is mutants be fucking.
Yeah, everybody fuck. Nightcrawler.
Yeah, because they want to, I guess, expand the gene pool, even though that would narrow it down. But one of the big things that was revealed in the issues of X-Men that followed that was they showed what the living situation was like on where the Summers clan is living, and it's Cable and what's her face? I can't remember. She was in Excalibur. She was the one who had the Phoenix Force for a while. Anyways, you see all their living situations. Then you see Scott Summers, Jean Grey, and Wolverine. Jean Grey's place is in the center, and she has a door to either one of their living quarters on either side.
That is just weird to me.
They're fucking though.
That's just cutting through the bullshit. Like,
sure, but I always liked the dynamic that Wolverine and Cyclops, at least that I remember, was that they always butted heads because it always created tension.
Well, that's the whole idea with this, though, is that the mutants are finally realizing that they're not fighting against each other. Like, they are a unified people, for lack of better term, because they're not people; they're fucking mutants.
Well, right. I can wrap my head around that.
Yeah, and they're trying to better their species because they've tried everything they can to integrate with humanity, and just like, nah, fuck this. Like,
yeah.
Professor Xavier's like, listen, we've created this drug that will cure all known ailments, like, of the body, one that will cure all known ailments of the mind, and one that will extend your life by 50 years. But basically what you have to do is we give you this and we get our own island. Let's the fuck away. Yeah, it's pretty great.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. And that's my little TED talk.
Yeah, I always liked the X-Men. It's just I just got off comics and I just never got back on for whatever reason. I was big into like Green Lantern and the New Avengers, like a whole lot.
I can do this off mic at some point. Yeah, I can send you a list of good stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it goes without saying that I think
Well, that went without saying because you just faded out.
Bye, Connor.
Yeah, I was actually very curious. What was that?
I only read comic books that are Power Rangers related now, I guess.
No?
I guess that's just my lot in life.
That's fair.
Power Rangers and whatever the fuck else I'm doing. I've lost count of the days.
I don't know how much of what I just said is lost, so I'll just keep going.
All of it.
Everything.
We heard it goes without saying, and then
I was saying how the movies kind of poisoned the well, and the relationship between Marvel is weird.
A little bit.
I thought Apocalypse was okay. I think I probably liked it more than most people, but I couldn't even do Dark Phoenix.
Oh, you've entered into a den of wolves, sir. Apocalypse was atrocious.
That movie.
I'll say this. I like the stuff with I just forgot Quicksilver specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was like a holdover from the last one, which actually made me more angry.
Like it was like basically like a repeat joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's probably the only thing I remember from that movie, and I actually thought I was actually happy that the fucking what are those robots called?
Sentinels.
The Sentinels actually did something.
Oh yeah, instead of just showing up as a giant head that was in the Danger Room, like in X-Men 3. Yeah, it's directed.
I guess they kind of had. Actually, you know what? That wasn't even Apocalypse. That was fucking Days of Future Past. So I can't even give it that one.
A much better movie.
There isn't much memorable about that shit. Well, I haven't revisited it since I watched it in theaters.
You're not missing anything.
No, it's certainly a film that came out.
What about Olivia Munn's stunning turn as Psylocke, showing us all of her amazing acting skills?
She's in like 3 scenes, from what I recall.
She doesn't. I don't remember her talking once.
Apparently, she was sold that role on the idea that like Psylocke would be a big deal, and then she did. Yeah.
Oh well, what's even better?
Olivia Munn only responding to. Never mind.
She also talked a big game about how she trained so hard, and then you find out that almost every scene in the movie that was Psylocke was basically her stunt double.
Oh my god,
that would explain a lot. Actually, that would clear some things right up.
Yeah,
I think didn't she say something about the Predator shoots too?
Oh, she was the one who broke that Shane Black let his friend work despite stuff. Let's say.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, what the allegations? Was it the allegations, or was he a convicted child predator?
I believe I think he was designated as a child predator.
Is this the Jeepers Creepers guy?
No, it's a different guy.
Victor Salvo?
No,
a different convicted child predator.
Oh, you're gonna have to be more specific.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Jones?
God damn it.
Powder is my favorite Disney princess.
Anyways, what were we saying? This guy, he was like a friend of
Shane Black.
Shane Black. Yeah, and he got a role because again they're friends, and it was like doing one thing for a buddy, but I don't know, putting him in the scene. Jacob Tremblay, maybe not.
Yeah, no. Good luck.
I still have not watched that movie, and I don't think I care to.
No.
I mean, again, when I try to think of things that you're missing from that one, they're not
I mean, I think the idea behind the giant predator thing is pretty cool. That's about it.
That's actually where my point of contention comes from. Because I'm like, all right, what are they just going to keep getting bigger at this point? Like, you already had super predators. What are these mega predators? Like,
so when we're talking about this movie, I am always bothered by people who don't take into account that, like, I think Shane Black intentionally made the stupidest Predator sequel ever, just because he was like, I'm not going to take this seriously. I'm going to treat it like a B movie. And that kind of affects how you have to look at it, at least for me. Because if you take the Super Predator through that lens, it's like, okay, that makes sense. But as the person who has watched all of the mainline Predator movies many, many times and can find things that I appreciate in every single one of them, it's like, okay, but like you're like half acknowledging these other movies, but it doesn't feel like it comes from a place of appreciation for those movies. It's a little bit scathing in places where it maybe isn't necessary.
Which that's kind of a shitty look from Shane Black, being that he was in the first Predator movie. Like,
the best one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. 1 and 2 are both good for different reasons.
Well, yeah,
2 is just ridiculousness, and I kind of love it for that.
Well, that's exactly, but 1 is like a fucking masterpiece.
Yep. Yeah.
2's got Gary Busey, so
2's fine.
Busey and fucking what's his face?
Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Well, no, Danny Glover.
Well, yeah, Danny Glover, but yeah, it's
and Scorpio. He's ready.
God damn. Outside of
ready.
Predators is my Predator movie that I go to if I'm not
watching. I like Predators.
Really love Predators.
There's
Brody is a little too Batman.
I don't care. He's doing a thing and he's just going for it.
I love I love
like
the Ghost
really making an attempt to sound as growly as possible, and it's kind of distracting.
Who? What?
Yeah, what?
We heard a dog bark, and then we lost Connor.
Oh, well, homie finally took him out.
Yeah. He jumped up on his throat. And
Connor's fighting him off.
Yeah, welcome to a typical episode of the Fan Episode Show.
Getting the true experience.
Very, our very podunk podcast.
Jesus Christ.
Connor, just admit that homie finally took you out. That's exactly what happened, right?
I mean, that dog couldn't take me out if he put his best fucking paws forward, okay? He's like the size of a football.
Yeah, but what if it's like Morty in the City of Morty's episode, or not Morty, no, it is Morty. Yeah. What am I talking about?
Or if you
Morty,
remember,
apparently.
Remember how many years ago it was that woman got taken out by a pack of what was it, feral
dachshunds? Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Yeah. So don't misjudge a tiny dog.
That story actually became kind of a point of conversation at work because veterinary people, and they're like, how the fuck would a dachshund be able to do enough damage? Apparently, these were not dachshunds. They were like mixed with some of their shit, and they were like 40 pounds apiece.
Oh, God.
Well, yeah, if you're attacked by 7 of those, yeah.
I could see a group of 7 dachshunds killing some like poor decrepit person if they were like really that hungry and they're quote unquote feral.
They're nasty little shit dogs. They could kill a man if they needed to.
They just bite off that Achilles tendon. They just start going for the face. You're fucked.
Yeah, they go for all the soft tissue, and as they pull that off, it opens up options for them. So
say goodbye to your dick.
Yeah, exactly.
Only ever been bitten by small dogs.
Yeah, that's
they're
terrible little monsters.
Doesn't hurt though, not really.
I got bit by a cat a couple days ago, and that is currently She went in to bite my arm, and I moved it just fast enough for basically her canines to lick down my skin. So now I have these 2 lovely, gross-looking cuts along my arm.
Don't cats have really disgusting mouths, and it's actually a lot of horrible diseases come from them biting and scratching?
Oh, nice, great. That makes me feel great.
Connor, you're poisoned. It's like getting uninvited.
Yeah. Cat bites get infected real bad. In fact, like most people when they get bit by like at work, like if I see someone get bit by a cat like badly, someone's like, go to the hospital. get some antibiotics. Because, you need antibiotics because it is going to get infected.
So did you have something you had to put in your arm, or it wasn't that deep?
No, it was not that deep. I just hit it with iodine. I was fine. But,
okay, cool.
I saw a doctor get bit by a puppy, and like 2 days later, he had these. You know, in Iron Man 2, when he's got that fucking weird shit going up his chest, like those weird lines and stuff going through his blood.
You mean the thing that looks like blood poisoning?
Yes, yeah.
He's drinking a lot of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
This doctor came in 2 days later with blood poisoning in his arm where he got bit by this puppy.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I can remember when I was first learning to skateboard in middle school or whatever, like kids telling me like, be careful, you don't want to wipe out too bad on a graphite that's on like the grip tape that's on the top of it, because that could give you blood poisoning if it gets into your system. So yeah, that was always something that I was always keenly aware of. But yeah, blood poisoning from a puppy is terrible. I mean, unless the doctor deserved it.
Considering the puppies we were dealing with a lot of puppy mills at a time when I was working at that horrible clinic before this one.
Were they half snake? What the fuck?
Yes, that's what happens at puppy mills, Hunter. They do genetic experiments to create puppy snake.
I'm not a veterinarian.
They were puppies from Little Egypt.
Egypt and Bordentown, I think, are equally as ridiculous once you get in them. What would you say? What did you say was happening there, Sean?
Oh, there's like a dirt like racetrack. We drove past there, me and my girlfriend earlier, and it was just like totally packed.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, where's the fucking governor now?
I can already envision the type of people that were at that thing too.
Yeah. Not an open parking space, put it that way.
No, of course not. It's
and it was like raining out.
Doesn't matter.
They're mud.
You gotta see those cars go vroom vroom.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there like once or twice as a kid. It's okay. It's not like I need to go there during COVID. Okay.
Well, that and you went when you were a child, not as a an adult. Like,
right, exactly. Definitely is a factor.
And I mean, I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we have a thing called the Book by us. And
what?
Yeah, it's where they have like demolition derbies and just all types of shit like that. So I think it's a fancier version of that, but it's a dirt track with walls is essentially what it is.
Yeah, I used to
do the same thing. Yeah.
To backyard wrestle in New Egypt, and one of the people who lived next door to where we were had a thing out over the fence.
Something over the fence.
Yeah, no, we lost Connor again.
The whole fucking time, and just like wait for someone to give it lunch.
Oh, no.
Connor, we lost you through like half that.
John, I'm glad you're here for this. I'm glad you get to.
This is usually what we experience.
I'm glad you're here for the peak of our tech.
Right.
I feel like Connor's internet saves up all of its time for when you guys do Movie Dumpster.
Whatever this.
Yeah.
And then
this never happens when we record Movie Dumpster.
Hello?
Once in a blue moon.
I love the idea of the energy of the MDU colliding with Phantom Zone and just knocking out all of Las Vegas's internet.
Yeah, well, it took Connor out of the Speed Force. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not in my element. I'm powerless here.
Yeah.
Speaking
of the Speed Force, Sean, I don't know if you saw that there's apparently a rumored script treatment, not even script treatment, but a rumored plot synopsis to what they wanted to do with the Flash film that Ezra Miller might have been on, that was Grant Morrison helped write.
I didn't see it, but I'll watch a fucking Flash movie any day.
It sounds super interesting, and we're talking about in the chat, and like none of the ideas we saw were really offensive.
No, Captain Cold was like the main villain.
Oh,
which is the smartest thing to do. Yeah. Well, it's Grant Morrison helped write it, so if this is true, but I mean,
cool.
Having one of the rogues be one of the main villains first off makes the most sense. You can't just throw Eobard in there right away. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
But,
you got to make the money first.
Yeah, what they do that I really liked was that they just keep referencing a man with red eyes that Barry saw when he was a kid. So they clearly, if this was real, they were building up to that, and I think that's really smart.
Yeah,
I like that. Gives me it makes me think of Batman Begins, kind of, where they were setting shit up, but they didn't want to give you too much.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they fucking, you got all that in Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, ever since Ezra Miller chokeslammed that one woman in wherever the fuck he was, that's never.
Put the fucking guy from the TV show in the movie. Why is that not an option?
I mean,
because Warner Brothers.
I've heard mostly good things about that from Connor. He said, like, what, 1 or 2 seasons were kind of shaky, and the rest has been good.
3 and 4 are terrible. Like,
yeah.
Show and all those shows kind of the same way that I look at the comics. What you remember is the storylines and the big events for the most part.
Sure.
You don't necessarily remember like all of the small little like one-offs. And that's what all of these shows are. Like there are many great episodes scattered among not great episodes. And it's just that some of those shows have had seasons where the concentration of those bad episodes just kept piling up.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's like a cancerous growth.
There was a period of time in, I think it was like 2015, 2016, where it felt like watching The Flash was like, I was like being held hostage and forced to watch it.
It was court-appointed viewing. Like I think it was season 3, and it was the height of the Savitar thing. And the Savitar thing is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
He looks like fucking Megatron, and not the good Megatron.
Yeah, he looks like Megatron, weird. And the story is so fucked. Like in comparison to how it starts.
I have to ask, what is Savitar?
Okay.
The comics.
Do you have time?
Yeah, all right, here we go. In the comics,
give me the short version.
Savitar is a speedster in the comics, but he's not what they did in the show. In the show, he is this monstrous, like, armored speedster who is apparently like he's like the end of all things. It's like a Speed Force god, basically.
Okay.
Right.
And he's trapped in the Speed Force, and basically through like Flashpoint shenanigans and what's his face from Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy, who's in season 3 for some reason.
Huh.
He gets freed, but then like the path to getting him out is full of these like Chekhov's guns that don't even get fired. Or they just decide to change the meaning of plot devices by the end of the show. Then his master plan is like, I'm going to spread myself across every instance of time. I'm like, what the fuck does that do?
Wait, that was the weird part. Is like his plan is so vague that I'm not even sure he's the villain.
Yeah, but the big reveal is that Savitar's identity was Barry. It was Barry from an alternate timeline where he was injured and he lost Iris, so he became Savitar.
That's stupid.
Right. Yeah. And now that you say that, something's occurring to me. Somebody watched the final episode of season 7B of Doctor Who. Connor, you know what episode I'm talking about with the great intelligence? And Clara. And we find out about her. Somebody watched that final season ender and they were like, what if we make that an entire season of The Flash? Because the great intelligence, the big bad of that season, his plan is to go into the Doctor's timeline and kill every version of him, stop every story he's ever had, and just like cut it off, eliminating him from all time.
They did make it dumber.
Yes.
But then the following season had the Thinker, and we're like, cool, a non-speedster villain. He's going to be interesting, and he looks fucking awesome, like right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then his plot is the most insulting thing I've had to sit through.
I think you told me about this.
It is god awful.
Yeah, it's not great. Like that's where I jumped into being a mainline cast member, was when they were starting to do season 4, and I
even had a great time, I guess.
It was one of those
when does Eobard come back into the equation?
Oh God,
he comes and goes.
Yeah.
He does as he pleases.
Now, is that just because Letcher was doing Narcos, or was that just because the way that they did the story? What do you guys think?
Well,
I mean, I'm sure you've talked about it.
Letcher has actually, outside of one appearance in season 2 of The Flash, he actually hasn't really been Reverse Flash on the Flash. He's mostly been a character on Legends of Tomorrow.
I think I did know that.
It's in the first episode of season 3, the Flashpoint episode. And after that, it's pretty much Tom Cavanaugh, like, full time.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was the other way around, so I was confused about that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a completely fair response.
Well, Letcher's version of the character is still important because, like, that's the one who initially came back in the first place and gets stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. I haven't seen a ton of it. I've seen clips of him on The Flash, but I saw him on Narcos, and he was really good in that, so I was just curious.
Yeah.
He's eating scenery in some of the Flash stuff he's in. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
But the show has gotten a little better. We sat through season 5 was the last one we covered, and that had Cicada as a villain. Chris Klein from American Pie was Cicada.
Oh my god.
Charlie Nash of Legend of Chun-Li.
God damn it. God,
was he really?
What a great movie.
Did his hair at least look like Charlie's?
No, he was just Chris Klein.
No, yeah. And then Bison was a Scottish man, I think.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you spit on the memory of Raul Julia like that?
Yeah.
That's Neil. What the fuck is his last name?
Neil McDonough.
Yeah, McDonough.
Our favorite screaming man.
The river of existence and just
screaming.
Yeah.
I watched that clip from him from Ravenous where he's just like it's that hard cut to him in like a frozen pond. He's just screaming his head off for no reason.
It's so good. I love that movie.
But yeah, then we stopped after Crisis. I keep up with it. I think Hunter and Eric are burned out entirely. Me and Arlen go back if we hear something interesting.
It was like a great weight lifted off my shoulders when I stopped watching these shows.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it was.
22 episodes a season.
Yeah, it's like, make the comic book comparison. It's like when I was reading Green Lantern, when that series basically was like Jeff Johns' run was finishing. You had like Blackest Night and Brightest Hero going on. So you had like 4 or 5 fucking Green Lantern books you had to keep up with every single month? It's crazy after a while.
Yeah, that was me for like a minute with remember when DC had like individual like sections where it was like dark characters for like that minute where that section of the comics was like almost entirely members of Justice League Dark at the time, and then a bunch of other solo books that were pretty good. I was reading all of those for just a little minute, so I know.
I have to ask, like, how many fucking versions of X-Men are there now? Because I feel like that always had a shit ton of comics, no matter what.
It's always been that way, and that's kind of been my problem, at least for me personally, with X-Men. Like, I just either want to read Uncanny or I just want to read like mainline X-Men. I don't have to read like new X-Men or this X-Men or that or X-Force or this, that, or the other thing. I mean, there's phenomenal runs by certain writers within those individual series, but I don't want to have to read everything to hope I find that fucking golden nugget, right? Because I don't have the fortitude for that anymore or the budget.
Yeah, exactly. It starts to add up quick.
Yeah, well, and especially with comics being like $4 a piece now. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah, what's
crazy?
I don't like that.
And on top of the CW fatigue, like we were trying to watch like pretty much every comic-based show that came out, and like we drowned ourselves. We were doing Preacher when that was out. We did Legion. God. Legion was worth it though. Every second of it.
Legion's great.
We tried Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and we're like, hey, cool, Ghost Rider. And the show was like, we're taking this away now. And we're like, go fuck yourself. And we were
in Preacher's defense, it ended up pretty good in the I'm sorry, Arlen. I didn't mean to run all over you.
No, you're fine. You're good.
Preacher ended up being pretty true to the comic in the end, which was actually kind of surprising.
Yeah. We watched one episode of Gotham, and it was like one of the worst 45 minutes of TV I've ever seen.
It was the Goop episode.
We gave everything a shot. We gave Cloak and Dagger a shot, which was partially because of a bit, but hey,
we watched Spawn, and that was
God,
that was a thing that happened.
Yeah, but then we also watched Ghost Rider the movie, which was a ton of fun. So
that was God damn it.
We've watched some shit in the show.
Didn't they make 2 of those movies?
Yes.
They'd somehow.
Yeah, the second one is what are those dudes who made Crank?
Niveldean and Taylor.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, so it's one, it's bad, but 2, it's fucking insane. Like at some point, someone asks Ghost Rider or like Nick Cage, whatever. I can't remember his. Is it Johnny Blaze? Is that who
I
was
believe
playing?
so.
Yeah.
Someone asks him like, "Well, how do you go to the bathroom?" It slam cuts to Ghost Rider from the back, and he is just spraying fire from his crotch all over something.
Yeah.
It then cuts back to him and goes, "Yeah, about kind of like that."
Oh.
I mean, Nick Cage is a fucking he's somebody to watch in a movie for sure.
He's a lunatic.
I mean, Vampire's Kiss is one of my favorite movies, and he's phenomenal in that.
Oh God, have you seen Mandy?
I have not. I have Color Out of Space, and I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. But that and Mandy are the 2 I have to watch.
Mandy is fantastic.
The Cheddar Goblin is going to come after you, Sean. He's gonna.
Andy is one of the best Cage performances I've ever seen. Goes all over the place. He is, the first 15 minutes, he's very joyful and at peace, and then plot absolutely shatters him. And there's a moment in that movie where he's just in his underwear, covered in blood and dirt, slamming a bottle of alcohol and just screaming to himself.
Yeah, and it's the best.
Yeah, this is called My Sundays in the year 20.
Every Sunday.
2017, one or the other. I can't remember.
So whose media running all over you?
Columbo. Period. So,
but the rest of the movie plays out like a fucking almost heavy metal nightmare. Like it's all this really fantastical visuals, and the plot is like the villains are ambiguous because like, are they undead? Are they cultists? Like what you get is like they got into a batch of bad acid and they were never the same again.
Well, that's the bikers, which is that's so cool.
Yes.
They take this like crazy acid the CIA gave them because they wanted them to fuck off, and it turned them into like mutant demons. And when Nick Cage takes it, you see a visual of like I can't even describe it.
It's like a clay model or like a ballistics dummy version of Nick Cage is dissolving in fast motion. It's
and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Now I have to see this.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already on my list, but now you're like telling me more about it, and I haven't thought about it in a minute.
Yeah, and you totally get to see Bruce Wayne's dad from Batman Begins. You get to see his hog in this movie. Yeah.
You get to see it's
to see those girls drop again,
and then somebody
in a matter of speaking,
Then the titular Mandy laughs at the size of his dick. It is.
It's amazing. It's a great movie.
That also has a chainsaw duel in which one guy has a chainsaw, and then someone comes out from behind like a pile of junk with an even bigger chainsaw.
Yes. Yeah, it's better than the chainsaw duel from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah, that's where my brain's going.
Yep. Yeah, it's but it's done seriously. It's not a joke like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The movie
2
is it's a stab in the guts. A lot of it because it takes itself super seriously, despite how strange it is. And like I don't want to say the setup because it would ruin the impact of it. But, like when the movie gets serious and really wants to hurt your feelings, it fucking does.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. It's. I think I said it when we first watched it. It's every facet of Nick Cage. It's like the super serious actor Nick Cage, and it's the goofy weirdo Nick Cage. So yeah.
Well, that's what you want.
Yeah.
And then Bill Duke shows up to sell him a crossbow.
Oh yeah, he's
it's great.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Color of Space yet, but I was like a couple months ago. I got out of my room to go to the kitchen to grab something to drink, and all I hear is Nick Cage screaming. And I heard sci-fi noises, and I went, "You watching Color Out of Space?" And they were like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" It was like an educated guess. Call it. And
I really want to see that, but like, is it gory? Does anyone know?
No, it's no gorier than like The Thing or
okay.
Less so even than
The Thing, one of the goriest movies ever.
There's a man's head
on
that
the same level
itself from his body and turns into a
chest
spider.
bites off some dude's arms.
The
dog gets put down after exploding with gore.
I can't talk about the dog. The dog is the one where it's like I have to leave the room. I can't
They
do
fucking
this.
lighted it on fire with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the gore in the thing is all
weird and pissed off.
It's weird and pissed off, whatever it
Yeah.
is. The gore in the thing is all very
better now.
Body horror centric, and I think Color Space is probably like that.
I have a very
weak stomach
when it comes to gore. Yeah.
It's not. It's less like bloody and it's less like guts. I would say.
Okay, I could probably do that.
Yeah, it's more like it's alien violence, really. Like it, you know, in like a what the Vin Diesel movie.
Have you seen The Curse?
Right, any movie where it's like it's very much creatures getting killed. Yeah. It leans more in that direction. I would say.
Okay, fair enough. The movie where I found out I have a weak stomach for gore is completely unexpected and not one you think. And it's Hot Fuzz. I can't watch Hot Fuzz at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz.
I can't even think of. Oh, from the thing going through his chin.
Yeah, the piece of like stone that falls onto the dude's head.
Yeah, dude, that looks fake as hell though.
Yeah, I know. There's something about it. It makes my skin crawl.
Sure, no.
The Timothy Dalton thing where he gets his chin stabbed in like the model made me.
Yeah, no, that one is that's legitimate.
Yeah, that one.
But it makes you laugh when he's like, "I want some ice cream."
Yeah.
See, I was hoping Hunter was going to throw us a curveball and be like, the movie that did to me was Serbian Tale or Serbian Tale or something like
I refuse to watch that.
Hostel.
Oh.
No, I don't like. Hostel is so not as effective as it's purported to be because it takes like 45.
It's really gory.
No, it is, but it takes so long to get to that point that you're like, whatever, just do it. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm not a big liker or defender of that film, but I don't think it's horrible. The second one's not even that bad, but it's like I'm not gonna watch it ever again.
I went into that movie expecting to be like, all right, like, you know, because I've been watching a whole bunch of like Japanese shock cinema around that time. So I'm like, all right, this is supposed to be ridiculous and blah, blah. And I went in, I'm like, this is just kind of goofy. Like it's too over the top for me to really take any of it at all seriously.
I think I've seen Hostel, and the only thing I remember is the tendon.
Oh yeah,
God, that's the shot.
Hunter, you should watch the Takashi Miike film Audition.
Nope.
I think you'd.
Really know exactly what you're talking about. You're not fucking tricking me.
I've heard that movie's really good, but also,
there's an extended torture sequence involving piano wire and acupuncture needles that is just fucking horrific.
I'm good. I'm out.
You gave away you put the cart before the horse there, Connor.
Here's the thing. When people talk about Audition, whatever. When people talk about Audition, though, they don't talk about the hour and 10 minutes that it's trying to be like a weird, off-kilter romantic comedy with like some bits of horror in between. They talk about the final 25. Shit goes absolutely off the rails.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. Throughout the entire movie, there's points where you're like, wait a minute, something's really wrong here. Like the phone calls they keep getting and that thing in the bag that you don't know what the fuck it is. And you're just like, what? Why? Just why is this happening? Oh, it's romantic comedy again. Oh, God, what is that? Like, it does a good job of like vacillating between those two things. So I don't think there's ever a moment where you're too like settled in, except for maybe the first 15 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, I recently found out about that movie, and I haven't watched it yet because I read that it's like a little hard to watch, but I'm into it. I want to see it. I haven't gotten around to it.
Takashi Miike is somebody who, like, he can make a movie like that, and then he makes, like, a superhero movie called Zebra Man. Yeah. It's 100% like a kid's film. Like, so he's all over the place.
But then there's also Itchy the Killer.
Yeah,
I'm looking at his IMDb right now, and he made a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure movie, so he can really do anything, I guess. Yeah, it's live action too.
Question: does the dog die?
Probably.
He also did a Blade of the Immortal, if I remember correctly. Like
I started that, and it is fucking great based on like the half an hour I sat through.
Oh, I've heard it's really good.
There's an extended battle in the beginning that is just insane.
I've heard Itchy the Killer is also good. From what
it's got some scenes in it.
But that's definitely gory when he cuts his tongue off.
Yep. Yeah.
There's a movie he made called Izo, which is like I've seen that movie maybe.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird. I have no idea how to break that movie down for somebody.
Time traveling samurai?
I guess
kind
like the idea is like that's his purgatory, like this samurai's like idea of the afterlife, because he's such a like a hateful, angry bastard. Is that his afterlife is that he's gonna cut through countless amounts of people in various points across time, until he is reborn again by crawling out of a woman's vagina.
What?
Yeah, that's...
And then Bob Sapp shows up to get cut in half.
If you guys want to see a real heartwarming Takashi Miike film, just well, I would advise looking up the Wikipedia about the movie Visitor Q. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Hey, if you want to see a really great Takashi Miike movie, right, Connor? We know one.
What, 13 Assassins?
Sukiyaki Western Django.
Oh, God.
With Quentin Tarantino doing a really offensive Japanese accent.
That's a good movie.
Fucking forgot that he directed that.
Yeah, I remember our surprise when we did it in, like a couple years ago for Movie Dumpster. We're like, Takashi Miike did this fucking movie?
It's like another instance of Quentin Tarantino thinking he can act like really racially inappropriately because he's surrounded by those people. He's like, I'm with my friends now. Watch me affect this yellow voice.
Oh no! Oh,
let me talk about Akira for some reason.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Akira,
not his best
favorite
film, but it's actually it's not that bad. Check it out, but not gory at all.
No. Another one to check out that's legitimately good. It's got some gore. The battle scenes are fucking amazing. 13 Assassins.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard. I've heard of this.
That movie is unbelievably good. Like you guys should run to see that movie. It's so good. Like
all this is making me think about the fact that I keep going to HBO Max and scrolling down the fucking movies, and for some reason, Warrior's Way keeps jumping out at me. I'm like, it was in theaters.
What is that?
It was a movie that came out in theaters with Jeffrey Rush and a couple other American actors and one Japanese actor, and it's basically like a samurai travels out to the American West to settle down, and then the town is attacked by ninjas.
What?
So unavoidably attacked by ninjas.
Sure. Okay.
That happens. That happens.
I watched Naruto. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Is there a guy with a giant sword that looks like a blade of a guillotine? Is that a thing?
In
Have
that
you
movie,
seen
no.
any giant ninja stars on the backs of somebody?
No.
Giant snakes, frogs.
Is there
anything like that?
A lot of perverts? Are there any perverts?
It's the Old West, Hunter. I think you've answered your own question.
Good point. They're all perverts.
I think it came out at the same time like Ninja Assassin did.
Right.
I remember that movie. That movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the movie that was it. It wasn't Donnie Yen. I forget who the actor was.
Rain.
But
it was Rain. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was. They were talking about how that was going to be his huge break and blah blah, and then that movie landed like a wet turd. Like,
sure.
Weren't the Wachowskis somehow tangentially involved with that?
They produced it.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Good job, guys. Sorry.
I always wanted to watch that movie, and then every time I go to do it, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to do this.
Here's the thing, Hunter. If you're into seeing people get cut in half by ninja stars, then that's a movie for you.
Okay. Maybe I won't watch it.
Because like everyone in that movie can either swing a like some kind of chained bladed weapon or throw shurikens at people with enough force to sever entire limbs or just blow them up.
What did you just call them?
Shurikens.
Shoryukens? What the fuck did you just say?
I love Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter.
Shurikens.
Dragging uppercuts at people.
Yeah, and the blade on the end of a chain would probably be a Kurigama.
No, that's a pretty sick weapon. You get them in the neck and you yank it back and just rip their whole fucking head off. Is that the idea?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, because you can use it to deflect stuff, like, or deflect punches and whatnot by wrapping around. But you can also use it as a distance weapon. So yeah, it's good
Pretty
stuff.
sure Sango's brother from Inuyasha had that as a fucking weapin. That just occurred to me. I can't remember his damn name though.
I don't know anything about what you just said.
That's okay.
I have a friend at work who is now rewatching Inuyasha, and I keep fucking with her because my memories of that show is literally one word, and it's someone going Kagome. That's it. That's all I fucking remember.
Yeah,
Inuyasha's great.
Yeah,
I not care for
I like it.
Have you ever read Vagabond, Sean?
No, I know what it is, but I've never read it.
You should track it down. It's amazing. Just for the art alone, like even if you don't like the story.
What's the basic setup?
Oh, it's like hold on, I got. It's been so long that I have to look this up.
There's an anthropomorphic wolf.
Yeah, there's an anthropomorphic wolf.
Is it really?
What about dog?
Oh, okay.
Dog men.
Yes, there's dog men. And
We're talking about that a lot, so maybe we should talk about a different dog man.
Oh, you wanted to talk about Wolfman real quick, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
let's talk about
The Guillermo del Toro movie?
No,
not Guillermo del Toro. Who was that actor that did the fucking Wolfman like 10 years ago?
Benicio. That was Benicio.
Yeah.
Playing Lawrence Talbot.
So they're making this movie again?
for some reason.
But it's the current people at Blumhouse running it. And it's really more of an update. Lee Winnell was sort of rumored to be involved in another movie after Invisible Man. Ryan Gosling was announced as the person who would be playing the Wolfman. I'm not going to say Lawrence Talbot because they might not decide to go with that. But Lee Winnell is apparently very close to getting it. This came out on Deadline, and then fuck is the guy's name? Jason Blum retweeted the headline, the article after it came out, which to me feels like, oh, this is happening. This is almost for sure. So yeah, I'm excited. Any trepidation I had about the director that they were talking about, some guy who did like a one HBO movie and then they were giving Wolfman to him. That was not a great idea, if you ask me. But this is a much better idea, I would argue.
Well, are Arlen and I the only ones who have seen The Invisible Man?
I've seen The Invisible Man.
Okay,
Invisible Man's great.
Yeah, I didn't see it because of, again, COVID.
Yeah. COVID.
I had a friend who found it through less than honest means and drive with it on. So yeah.
Extra legally, we like to see it.
No, the movie's phenomenal. You should really seek it out if you get a chance.
Yeah, I really wanted to see it, and it was like it came out like right in that spot where it was like, do I really want to go in a fucking building and just sit in there for 2 hours when this thing is starting to spread all over? I'm like, I'm good. I'll wait 6 months.
You could have spent $20 to rent it for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna wait until I can rent it for $4 in like 2 months.
Yeah, probably.
But I didn't realize it was an update, Arlen. I don't know about Ryan Gosling. Like, I like him as an actor, but I kind of like when I think of Lon Chaney Jr. just because that's what I just go to. I don't know. I like someone like more like that. I mean, maybe that's just me, but
I think he's a little too pretty, honestly.
Yeah. I guess that's my thought. Unless he puts weight on, maybe that could be kind of cool.
Sure, and that's totally fair. I'm thinking of it more in terms of like, who do I trust if they're doing Lawrence Talbot, like who's an actor that can do that character really well? I think he can do it well. I was never holy shit. I was never super into him as an actor up until like Blade Runner. So I don't necessarily like think of him first.
I mean he's great in Drive.
Yeah, he's fine. He's good in everything that he's in. He just never blew me away until Blade Runner. And then everything after that, I've just been in love with. Nice Guys is its own separate thing. But I don't know. Like he's grown on me as a performer, and I think he can do that well. It does depend on if, again, are they doing Lawrence Talbot or is it just a new person in their calling?
Yeah,
man.
I mean, he could be Lawrence Talbot, and it could be that's just his fucking name. He doesn't have to be the character. It could be like a homage.
Well, I would.
Or why you wouldn't be okay with that? You would be almost like you'd rather it be a totally different character.
Yeah, I'd rather a new character. For me, Lawrence Talbot. Like the thing is the underlying message of this person is clearly an alcoholic.
Oh, okay,
like,
yeah.
That's part of the character for me. So if that was left out, or at least the underpinning of that, I would be a little bit bothered. I'd prefer that you just name it a different character at that point.
Yeah, okay.
Now,
do you think they're gonna do this totally in CGI, or are they gonna do like makeup and shit on this guy?
I don't know.
I would think a meeting of the two would be the best bet at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been proven that you can do both at the same time, so why not?
I agree.
You know,
I think the Del Toro movie has really cool transformation sequence. Some of it's a little too CGI, like when he's in the
he looks fucking goofy at times.
Also, during that 5-year period, maybe give or take, where they were just like not allowing things that weren't CG to make it to screen, even though they made actual model makeup. Like it was KMB, I think the same I think it was Nicotero Studio, and they did the thing and they did the Wolfman. I might be misremembering that. I
didn't know if they did both. I feel really bad for those.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure, but my understanding is that they were at least associated with those productions. I know it was the same two guys who did Aliens and all the Alien movies afterwards, who was also on the thing. And I know that Rick Berman? Not Rick Berman. Who am I thinking of? Rick something.
I don't know. Who are you thinking of?
The guy who did American Werewolf. And he started on
Baker?
Yeah.
Rick Baker. He was on Wolfman. So, yeah.
It's a shame.
Now... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was about to make a joke about it's a shame how American Werewolf doesn't have a director.
Yeah. Sucks that no director.
John Landis? I have no idea who that
is.
is.
Who is this? I don't know who this is.
He sounds like a murderer.
You know, I was gonna defend him for a second, but then I'm like, wait a minute, he's been keeping his horrible son out of prison for years. So
honestly, the killing the kids I can kind of forgive.
Vic Morrow, man. You gotta say it every time. Anytime John Landis is invoked, you gotta say R.I.P. Vic Morrow.
Yeah, R.I.P. him and
unwritten rule.
And
the pilot
killed
and the pilot.
And the pilot, yes.
For a stupid shot in the Twilight Zone. What an asshole.
Okay, this is totally not related to discussion. Well, it is, but he produced a movie in 2019 called I Hate Kids, so not a great look.
What?
Yeah.
Was he talking about his own child or the children he killed?
Well,
I don't know.
A little bit of both, I think. A little bit of column A, column B.
That Thing prequel has an entire third act that no one's seen before, because they, I guess, had design an entire interior for that ship they go into, and they have a confrontation with Thing in its natural state, I guess.
Which I'm actually more okay with that specific part being left out. But it sucks that they made a practical version of it and then they had to throw it away. That sucks. Somebody actually having to put the effort in, design that, which I'm sure takes a very long time. So yeah, that sucks.
Let's say Connor, you had just sent me and Joe, also from Movie Dumpster, that Venom shit from Spider-Man 3.
Shit. That thing is really cool, and I'm really curious as to how it worked, because it looked really, really stiff. Yeah,
I will say
I didn't think it looked that good, to be honest.
It's not the same case as the Defoe stuff, but it's not terrible.
I'd have to see an emotion.
Yeah, it looked cool as a still shot, but I didn't see any way that thing could move without falling apart, or looking like a golem that had crawled out of some effects warehouse that decided to become Venom.
Right.
I appreciate the design aesthetic of keeping the very classic Venom look and not altering it seemingly at all. I like that picture of the animatronic taken apart so you can see all the pieces. But outside of the head, I'm does the arms move? Does it just kind of Frankenstein you the whole time? Or just arms are out? There's also that shot I sent in the movie dumpster chat. It was from the first trailer, and it was, I guess, a different Venom design. And there's that picture of him with the fucking human small mouth where he's just yelling in the mirror. It is.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah. You've probably seen this picture. It is the gray
church, right?
Well, no, it's I think it's looking in a mirror. After he gets the black suit, and it's the it's the movie's like Venom design, but instead of a big giant fanged grin, he just has like a weird dainty human mouth.
I'm just imagining like it looking like Clutch Cargo talking on Venom's face. Like Clutch Cargo was the cartoon that the kid was watching in Pulp Fiction when Christopher Walken came to drop the watch off. So if that gives any reference,
I'm sending it to our chat right now.
Uncomfortable hunk of metal.
It's
I mean, what else can you really say about Spider-Man 3? I feel like it's been shit on for like the last 15 years.
Yeah, we contributed.
Yeah, we did.
Well, you say that, but honestly, like I think we were
we're all bored by it by the most part.
Right. Yeah. We were like,
there were some cool scenes. Like I think like all the stuff with Sandman was good.
Yeah.
Like, the fight.
Right. Yeah, if they would have just kept Sandman as the cool, but nope.
Nope. Sony had to fucking stick their fucking fingers into everything.
Yep.
Well,
and that shot of Venom, do not like one bit. Do not like at all.
And also, like, I know I'm probably beating a dead horse here, but it's like I always go back to the Spider-Man cartoon because I don't actually know like the comic equivalent, to be fair, of like when he got the symbiote suit off of him. And it's like I go back to like the old 90s cartoon. He was like fighting Vulture or some shit, and he just happened to end up by a church, and he was like, oh shit, the bell's making this thing freak out. And then it like fell in a church, and then Eddie Brock was there. In Spider-Man 3, he just like looks to the left, and then he's like at the top of this church and ripping it off. What inspired him?
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't like how it made him dance and feel like a real human being. It's almost like that film was a series of mandates from Sony as opposed to a film creator who actually wanted to do something with it. It's kind of funny like that. Yeah.
Let's insert Gwen Stacy into for no reason.
And not even kill her. What the fuck?
Yeah.
If you're gonna have Gwen Stacy and you gotta kill her, I'm sorry. That's
right. The only thing I give the newer Spider-Mans before Tom Holland any credit for is that they were like, we're gonna kill Gwen Stacy. We're just gonna do this.
That girl's gotta die.
I'm throwing an image in the chat that I hope upsets everybody.
Oh no.
There we go.
I don't like this.
I can't see it, Connor.
Hang on.
Oh.
Check it. Look at his weird little mouth.
Make it stop.
Why? I don't like how it looks like he has a goatee. I genuinely don't like that.
This is incredibly uncomfortable.
Well, he looks like a 12-year-old at his birthday at like a TGI Fridays, and they're bringing out the cake to him.
Like a clown just painted his face.
Yes. I'm gonna eat all of that because it's my
Arlen, please make this the show art.
Yes, Arlen, that's gotta be the
I think that has to be it. Yes, that's. Oh my god!
One drawing of Scarlet Spider, I guess, where like through his mask they decided to detail his lips, and he just looks like fucking thing.
Yeah, that was a real bad choice. That didn't.
Oh my god! I just saw it. Holy shit! Is that bad?
Yeah, it's not great.
Why is his mouth so small?
It looks like an action figure.
Hey, ding, ding, ding. That's probably why they did it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why they wanted him in the movie.
Yep.
People say this guy's popular.
I haven't seen anything in theaters since 1822. Put the Venom in the...
Yeah. Amy's like, so, I got a new sandwich I'm trying.
Oh.
You got this whole plot with this Sandman fella. How about inserting Eddie Brock into it? We need him in there.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised you actually knew his name. Yeah, I read the script. Believe it. That's how I knew it was shit.
That's the thing that pissed me off too, was because Sam Raimi had such a bad time with Spider-Man 3. Like, he completely dropped Spider-Man 4, and John Malkovich was rumored to be the Vulture.
Yeah. I was psyched for that at the time. I remember that. And me and my buddies, actually Joe included from Movie Dumpster, we were like, yeah, you know who'd be great as Carnage would have been fucking Jim Carrey at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would ever have been in the running, but I always thought that would have been a good pick, 15 years ago.
I mean,
that was the talk of the internet, I think, too.
And then taking it away from him and then giving it to Jim Carrey. They could have done that, like they did many times.
Now we have the fucking bartender from Movie Dump. I'm playing this motherfucker, and it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. He looks like Larry Fine. He looks like Carrot Top or something.
The 10 seconds that Cletus is on screen in the Venom movie are hilariously bad.
I love his
Woody
stupid
Harrelson
wig.
does not give a shit.
I think that was added so last minute that Woody was probably so high he didn't know what was going on at the time.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Is this Now You See Me 3?
Well, there were a couple photos that had shown up a while ago of him on the set of Venom 2, whatever the next movie was supposed to be.
Okay.
Got shut down, and he actually had much better looking hair.
Okay.
It actually did look like someone just found a clown wig.
I know Connor, who liked that movie. I haven't seen it.
I like it because it's so fucking stupid.
Sure. I haven't seen it just because I just thought it looked fucking horrible. But if they do Carnage and the trailers aren't horrible, maybe I'll rent it. I mean, I ain't going to theaters to fucking see it, but I might rent it.
I want to see it because the director choice. It's Andy Serkis is directing it, and given his experience with performance capture and his experience in the industry, I feel like he's going to turn out something interesting at least.
Can he tell Tom Hardy to work on that accent?
Yeah.
I love how Tom Hardy sounds.
Where is he from?
He sounds vaguely Irish.
Yeah, he does a better job of playing Venom than he does playing Eddie. I'm
Eddie Brock. Here's the Brock report. I have no idea where I'm from.
After Bane, you would think that people would stop hiring this guy to do accents.
Sean, that's his
I mean, it kind of became iconic, so maybe that's why they keep picking him to do accents.
Well, no, Tom Hardy seeks them out. He's like the guy from The Crow and Movies with Swords. He just looks for time to cover up part of his face. Yeah, he's just seeking them. He asks his agent only for those. Yeah.
Really pigeonholing himself.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I just think the idea of doing a Carnage movie and not having a rated R affair is really strange.
Oh, it's PG-13?
Probably.
Yeah, gotta get the kid money in. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I remember them saying something about they wish that they had released Venom as an R, so I think that they'll probably go for that again. But who knows?
They announced Venom and said we're gonna do R, and then 6 months they just stopped mentioning that. They're like, it's PG-13.
Yeah, they pulled an AVP.
With the first Venom, they were just keeping it very quiet. So we were like, okay, well, it's an R, right? They would say something otherwise. And then they dropped PG-13 sometime after Life came out, and they decided that the Life is a prequel to Venom thing was dead.
I can't believe that had serious traction for a day.
People are idiots.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I still think it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no crazier than my own theory that I had.
Just like Willy Wonka's a prequel to Snowpiercer.
Right. Yeah.
It's very my God! There's a
Arlen,
fucking thread.
What is your crazy theory?
You remember this?
No, I don't know.
So
That's why I'm asking.
Venom, the film released, was actually an Uncharted movie, and you can't convince me otherwise. You cannot convince me that it did not come out and that it was not an Uncharted movie. I believe this. And the Uncharted movie that's being produced, that's actually Venom movie. It's happening.
See, I'm inclined to believe you.
No, guys, look. Ben Affleck is not playing Batman, okay? He's playing Deathstroke, all right? And Christian Bale is going to show up in Batman vs. Superman, okay? And he's going to still be playing Batman.
See, here's the thing. I still kind of believe you.
That might have made Batman vs. Superman better.
Yeah, might have. Possibly. Speaking of things that were not handled as well as they could be, I wanted to talk a little about Unsolved Mysteries. That was the thing that happened.
I made it up to the Aliens episode.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
I didn't make it past the first episode.
I enjoyed everything I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still finish it. It's not a big deal. I mean,
I'll say this: a lot of the episodes are too long. Many of them are too long. They don't need to be an hour. Most of those stories, they don't need to be like 5 minutes in a very bad recreation. That's not what I'm asking for. But like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, and then maybe just call it good. Go to another episode.
My girlfriend was telling me this was like this was a show way back in the day, and this is like a remake of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious right now?
You didn't
I'm
know
100% serious. I've never watched this in my life.
Wait, you've never watched Unsolved Mysteries, really?
No. Nope.
Yeah, it was a mainstay of the 80s.
Holy shit, Sean.
Wow.
Yeah, no, never watched it.
Okay, well, Unsolved Mysteries is like, I can't even describe it properly.
It's like early age nightmare fuel for me.
Right. Yeah. I would call it like the dark side of the alley to Bill Nye. Like it's like Robert Stack is this host doing like a America's Most Wanted guy thing way before him, and it's creepy as fuck because the song is like synth horror from the 80s.
You know who Robert Stack is, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. No. What?
What'd you say?
Do you know who Robert Stack is, right?
I feel like I do, but just tell me.
He was the voice of Ultra Magnus in the Transformers movie, the cartoon. Are you familiar with that?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, yeah. Well then, I'm just gonna go sit in a corner and eat my mucilix.
Wow, this is fascinating. I don't think I've ever heard of somebody who doesn't know what Unsolved Mysteries is. This is wow.
I love that Robert Stack hosts the show, but like it's serious, but he's dressed like McGruff. Like
yes, he is. He's like a TV detective the entire time.
A big giant trench coat with a collar popped up.
He's aging John Constantine.
Yeah, they would detail like current like missing persons cases, like unexplained events, and like they would have a hotline afterwards that you could call, and like there are people who called and actually helped solve some open cases.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
But it's known for its recreations mostly, where they would retell some of the stories with just the most 80s straight out of movie dumpster actors, probably like some serious.
Well, I haven't seen this show, like you guys said, maybe miraculously, but I have watched, maybe not recently, but a few years back, I was like really into like fucking ghost shows with my girlfriend, which is kind of similar.
Well,
yeah, definitely.
I'm glad you bring that up. Those are like the prototype, or this is the prototype for those shows.
Okay.
Anything
because there was this
realm.
There were a few of those shows that like were entertaining, even if you know it was bullshit. It was like, the story's kind of cool. And then eventually, like after like, oh, we're on like our 5th season and we don't have as many viewers anymore. So now it's just kind of the same location every time. And it's really unbelievable. Like you can't even like maybe buy into it.
Or you're Zach Bagans and you overcompensate by buying a house, saying there's demons in it, bulldozing the house, and then saying a demon blinded you, and that's why you wear glasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is a common thing that happens.
I still think he might be telling the truth.
He's not telling the truth.
I know. I'm looking
at free claw marks.
No, one of the things with Unsolved Mysteries that, at least the 80s version, that made it so horrific when you're like 9, 10, anywhere from like 9 to 12 watching it, was that Robert Stack would then be like, and the killer was never found. He might be outside your house right now watching your mom do dishes. Like that's a little bit of a hyperbole there, but he always left it open enough that you're like, oh god, that guy's in my town. Like my town is nothing but murder now.
And like the preceding mystery is like, this man decapitated 17 children. He could be outside your house right now.
Yeah.
Doorbell rings.
It shows a map tracking the killer, and the next thing on the map is your town circled with a red line.
Oh my god!
There's video of the back of your head at the episode. Yeah, I don't know. Like the show worked really, really well. Like just because it kind of fed you a little bit of bullshit, but there was enough truth in there that you're like, okay,
Yeah.
that's, so when you had like a paranormal episode, you're like, oh, well, this, I mean, it's coming from this show. It's got to be true. Even though.
Or you.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but I like that because you kind of be like, sit there as an audience member and be like, yeah, this is probably bullshit, but some of this I could kind of see maybe happening. Like, we don't know. Like, we weren't there.
Well, the bullshit was like a way to release steam from some of the stories you would see on there and be like, that is too fucked up. I did not need that. But the goofy alien stories where they would recreate just like these very strange details. And it was like, okay, this is a nice breather from like, this man has killed 15 people. And that's primarily the thing that I think is actually missing. Is that like, when you get to the alien episode that Eric has stopped at, it's not like a fun alien story.
No.
It's told very dry, and it does nothing to let out steam. If anything, I was like, I'll get to the last episode, which is just tragic and horrible, and that was like the steam let off. Because it was like, oh, we know what happened. We just can't do anything about it.
But solved mysteries doesn't sound as good when we try and sell it.
Who's the host on this one? Is it Dan Aykroyd?
There isn't a host, actually.
There's no host. Yeah.
Which,
It's just like a guy talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if it was Dan Aykroyd, every mystery would end with him look at the camera going, yup.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what I want.
Just him.
I want him to be like Riker. Just fucking coming in, stepping over chairs. Was it real? We don't know.
Just
But I'll tell you what I think.
Crystal Heads vodka. Crystal Skull vodka.
I got a throne made out of him, like fucking Game of Thrones, but it's called Crystal Skull Vodka.
Then the Men in Black came to my job and they shut us down.
The Crystal Throne.
That's the thing too with the Alien episode of this relaunch of Unsolved Mysteries is that it's the exact people you would expect to still be talking about aliens and alien abduction.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
it's not even like a story where like, oh, maybe there's something here. I could maybe grab onto some aspect of it where it's like, no, it's none of that. You're just like, I don't.
And then I saw that there flying saucer go over the hills over there.
I will not go
I ever sees of it.
I will not go to that
at,
level, but yeah.
You also look at stuff like you almost look at stuff like X-Files is almost more believable because at least the characters felt real.
And there was actually some thought put into how things would happen, so you could get from A to B, and it would actually make sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unlike Travis Walton's story. Anyways, I miss my beautiful blonde spaceman.
That might not be out by the time we're recording this, Eric. So be careful to spoil the spicy love affair of Travis.
Hot takes.
And his Steve Space Nordic Man or something.
Yeah.
Where the fuck that guy was
with his boyfriend.
Brokeback Space Mountain.
Brokeback Space Mountain.
Yeah.
The sequel nobody wanted, but we're getting anyway.
Y'all want to wrap?
Yeah, probably a good call.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. God, Sean, we can plug stuff. What the fuck do we have coming up?
Well, we have Kicks coming up next. If you haven't seen that movie, with who's in that? Seth Green, Alfonso, Ribeiro, and fucking Clint Howard's in that movie. Making radioactive weed or some shit.
Why not?
And he accidentally makes big ass ticks that just fucking attack people. It's pretty crazy.
We got that and Orca coming up sometime after that.
Jaws
Orca at the end of the month. Yes. With our friend CB Smith, a friend of Movie Dumpster, a friend. He has his own YouTube channel called Taking a Page. He reviews books and the movies that are based on them. So he's actually going to be coming on. And last year we did Child's Play 3 with him. Came on and he actually read the novelization. And we kind of talked like, okay, the differences. It was cool. So he's doing it for Orca. So I'm looking forward to that.
Connor, did I ever tell you that I listened to that episode as I was going to see the remake that they put out? Did I tell you that?
You did not.
I somehow timed that. I think that's what happened. But I managed to
that.
do both those at the same time.
That must have been an experience.
How did you like that movie?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I think it could have used more kills, honestly.
Okay.
Like, if you're making a Child's Play remake, go hard or go home, I guess.
Sure.
Just
I like that lawnmower kill. It's pretty good.
Right. Like, I would need like 50% more of that level of insanity.
I know I'm weird. I didn't hate it. A lot of people hated that movie.
I didn't hate it. I know
sure.
did not like that at all. So, yeah.
Yeah, I told him, he goes, "Oh, how'd you like it?" I said, "Oh, I actually thought it was pretty good." He goes and sees it later. He's like, "This fucking sucked, man." I was like, sorry. I didn't hate it.
Of the things that he doesn't really like, but we can get into that on another show where he's here.
Sure. Let him defend himself. And then the only other thing, really, we released our Patreon. We just launched that, and Hunter was our first patron.
I did it.
Thank you, Hunter.
You're welcome.
And then he aptly commented on the first post on Patreon. Spoilers. Yeah. You wrote first.
Yeah, I wrote first because I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, you set a bit of a trend.
Yeah. I'm a move maker, as they're called.
Shut up.
But yeah, movie dumpster. I'm assuming Connor's already talked about it a ton on here, but check it out wherever you get your podcasts, and if you like it, check out the Patreon.
Not once. I've never brought it up.
Damn.
Never.
What the fuck are you doing, Connor?
Never.
No.
Yeah, this is a side of Connor we never even knew about, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel second show, you son of a bitch.
It makes sense why he says he can't record on certain nights because he has obligations.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Podcasting mistress.
Exactly.
Understand that. That's it. Yeah. We got a bunch of stuff planned for the Patreon, and I don't think this is that big of a spoiler, but we're trying to get Arlen on the show in September.
Ooh.
So look forward to that.
Yeah, Connor had sent me a list of some of the movies you guys plan on doing, and I'm really eyeballing Jocks.
Yeah, I've been thinking of what I would like to do if I was ever on.
Yeah.
Well, if you got the list, check it out. If not, just let us know. And most of the time, if you come with us with a movie that we're like into doing, which if you listen to our show, you pretty much know what we watch most of the time. So
Stop asking us. Stop asking us to watch The Room. It's never happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got to cross that off my list. Got it.
I think Hunter, whatever you would want to watch, I think they'd be up for because
except for The Room, clearly.
Yeah, The Room. Yeah, The Room.
Except for The Room.
In fact, I made a really bad Room joke in our fucking what was that, the vampires episode? Because I said the main vampire looked like Tommy Wiseau.
Yes, Valak looks very much like Tommy Wiseau. He was going to a goth club.
Got a little mahogany over that. But yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. Check out Movie Dumpster.
Yeah. I just want to say first, thank you, Sean, for being on. This was great.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. My plugs are our podcast, which comes out when we have episodes recorded, basically, and at our leisure. So yeah, more Bond coming up, of course. Look forward to some of the people on this show being on there, hopefully pretty soon. So yeah, I think that's it from me, Hunter.
Don't follow me on social media. If you do, I'll know.
Shit.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
I fucking blew it.
So also, go check out teespring.com/America's Boyfriend. I'm dabbling in making stupid t-shirts. They're pretty dumb. You should buy one. Other than that, not really much.
I'm Eric Fedorchak. You can find me at Eric_Fedor on Instagram. There's pictures of dogs and cats, foods and comments. Our dog reporter Otis, my Newfoundland, just turned 3 today, so he got a steak and an ice pop. I'm floating around.
Happy birthday, Otis!
Yeah, man, he's a big guy. He's a big, lovable Newfoundland.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm also on the Phantom Zone, floating around in there, talking about things. Also, if you need to continue to hold on to something so tightly that has no bearing on your day-to-day life, I can show you the darkness behind the stars. I can show you the great empty cathedrals that man never knew. I can bring you to the profane libraries that you learn the truth of.
I don't even know what this is.
So every time we try to close, Eric will invariably try to horrify us, and I'm sure that's the road he's leading us down now.
You just ruined it. I was really vibing with that. I really was getting into what he was putting down. And
we know exactly where it's heading.
Until
Actually,
he's
no,
like,
it
he's like Pennywise's tooth vagina.
No, it wasn't. No, he doesn't have a tooth vagina. His penis has teeth. Get with it. It's multiple teeth.
Wow.
No, I wasn't even getting to that. I was actually something I've been just mulling on all day. Was trying to think of horrible things that someone who's trying to buy your soul would say. But I mean, if you'd like me to talk about how Pennywise's morphic body could wrap around you in a loving embrace, I could, but I won't.
Right.
So. Yeah.
I think we'd prefer to hear about the aquatic werewolves.
Wow, that's a special time and place for that. But yeah, that's all I got for everybody. So
yeah, I think that's it. I think we're out of here.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye,
everybody.